really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Hey, motherfucker. What do you like to do?
Oh, I don't know. Play chess. Screw.
Well, let's play chess.
They give off to Jonathan Taylor. Jump cutting his way close to the goal line. He's in there. Touchdown. I-N-D-Y. Jonathan Taylor.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Here's Halliburton into the front court. Mishandled it, but gets a shot. Hits it. Hits it.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
I am so excited. I know I kind of sound like the Pointer Sisters right here. I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it because we're at Tiebreakers. We are on Mass Ave. Seriously, here's what I want to make sure that you understand. Don't let, hey, downtown's going to be packed and everybody's going to be everywhere. Do not let that at all persuade you not to show up, because we're going to have a badass time. And you know, when I suggest we're going to have a badass time, that's exactly what is going to take place, because we are talking at great length about a lot of things, including Ohio State, IU tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Lucas Oil Stadium. The ticket prices are through the roof right now. If you have them, well done. If you have your bullseye passes, well done, because that thing is going to be packed as well. You may want to check bullseyeeventgroup.com and see if they have any remaining, but that thing is going to be off the hook, as they say, coming up tomorrow as well. Obviously, I'll go over tomorrow where all we can get together and hang out, because I do truly enjoy that. And I want to see you here at Tiebreakers, because this is very easy to get to. And let me give you a little background. I was sharing this with Jake, and the crossover brought to you by Love Heating and Air. But Rob is the owner. I know Rob and Wayne. Wayne, by the way, is from Center Grove, which is awesome. But Rob is the owner. Rob also owns the Whistle Stop. So you know what the elite level quality of the Whistle Stop. So you can just imagine exactly how Tiebreakers are going to be here on Mass Ave. And when I say Mass Ave, it's right here at the beginning of Mass Ave, right across from Bakersfield. It is easy to find. Hey, pull up, park that bad boy. My dumb ass has been able to get the parking app. Now, I will say this. I had the parking app last week, Dev, when we were in Broad Ripple, and I still got I have no idea how I still got a ticket. How do I have the parking app? Does that mean I'm doing it wrong? And I still came out, and there's a ticket on my windshield, so I'm going to have some words with you in Broad Ripple. But I get the app, and I park, and we're right here. It is a beautiful thing. The guys that were doing some work right out there in front are now done. We have plenty of room for you in an incredible environment at Tiebreakers on Mass Ave. This is a Bud Light Blue Friday. No, James, you're calling. Oh, you know what? I think he may be calling us. I apologize, James. I think DJ Jones is going to call us. I'll explain that coming up in just a minute. But Bud Light Blue Friday means you can win some Colts tickets while you're here. The football toss is going on as well, and we still have that trip for you. I'll explain those rules and what you can win with the football toss. But again, Ice Cold Bud Light, great food, Tiebreakers, and basically what this is, a springboard to what is going to be a fantastic weekend here in Indianapolis. When you think about it, I mean, tomorrow you get, obviously, Purdue and Iowa State's going to be awesome, too. You're going to watch that, and then IU and Louisville, two teams that need to make up for a little lost ground the last time out. Gainbridge Fieldhouse. So I'm going to try to make that coming up tomorrow. And then Bullseye, and then you've got, obviously, IU and Ohio State. And then coming up on Sunday, oh, by the way, just a little must-win down in Jacksonville for the Colts against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll have all that conversation for you coming up in just a bit, too. I should remind you, again, Tiebreakers on Mass Ave, but Chris Felica, the Bear from Fox, is going to join us coming up here in the 5 o'clock hour with his breakdown of this Big Ten title game. And honestly, you look around the college football landscape of title tilts going on this weekend, what could most significantly rock the boat? Because we are keeping in mind exactly the standing of Notre Dame right now, and I know Notre Dame fans are a little bit skittish about what's going on or what could happen around them. But we'll talk to Chris Felica, again, the Bear, Fox, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, 5:30. He will join us, and we shall discuss that. Now, Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, going to join us coming up a little bit later on, too. Don is doing the double dip, and I kind of wonder how much I'm going to utilize Don today because he's got to save it. He's going to do that double dip tomorrow, IU basketball, Louisville and IU, Cambridge Fieldhouse, and then the Big Ten title game. Yeah, he is going to be doing that. We'll talk to Don coming up here in the 5 o'clock hour. I think Mike Wells is going to join us, too, of ESPN Radio. I know our good friend Amp Harris is going to slide by, or I don't know, either that or he's going to call James. He's going to talk with us a little bit later on as well. Bob Lovell, too, will join as he normally does on a Friday. And coming up in a minute, and my good friend Mike Poe, and a lot of you know Mike. Mike is a friend of everybody. But Mike Poe set this up with me. He has recently met the Jones family. And the Jones family from Ohio, they have a significant situation going on. So the father, DJ Jones, is a former tight end at Ohio State back in the 90s, had really an incredible story, kind of a life-saving story. Back with the teams in the day. I think he was at the tail end of the Herb Street era. I think it was a Stanley Jackson and Joe Germain eras kind of coinciding right there as well. But DJ Jones was a tight end and had to overcome some health issues and certainly some things going on while in Columbus. But his legacy, Isaiah Jones, IU fans know him very well as a standout linebacker on defense for the Hoosiers. And a guy, I don't believe Isaiah was recruited at all by Ohio State. And they may wish that they would have him around right now because he has been spectacular defensively for Curt Cignetti and IU. The son of DJ Jones is Isaiah Jones. And DJ is going to join us coming up here in just a couple of minutes, around about 3:10 or so. And we'll get the thing started because it's kind of an interesting dynamic, a little family thing to where, normally you've got a legacy of Ohio State in the football program. And, everybody around DJ Jones and the family will be rooting now for the upstart Indiana Hoosiers and Isaiah Jones because obviously he's a part of that team. But the story is really cool, and DJ is going to join us in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk about Ohio State, his time there in the 90s, what he went through, and then obviously, sitting back and watching his son play at a level in which his son has and being a part of this IU program. All right, that and more for you. Again, tiebreakers on Mass Ave, Bud Light Blue Friday. We'll further explain in just a moment. I think Hagan's going to drop by, maybe even Tricia Whitaker coming up too. So you guys sit tight for that. Meantime, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, I mentioned this, kind of broke it down a little bit, but further discussion means we're going to bring on board the father of Isaiah Jones of IU, the linebacker, the redshirt junior. The father is the former tight end at Ohio State, DJ Jones, who's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline right now. Hey, DJ, thank you very much for the time. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Outstanding. Now, I did want to mention this, that I know that you get to hang around with Mike Poe a great deal. So I'm sure you're thrilled with that. As he is, I may bring him on in just a second to converse with you. But, hey, honestly, DJ, there's no better dude in the world than Mike Poe, and I know you know that too.
Yeah, he is. He's a great guy. Absolutely.
So what's the emotional dynamic going on in the Jones family with what you have accomplished, what you were a part of, and with what your son is accomplishing and what he's a part of, and certainly going into that matchup with your former team coming up tomorrow night? What's the emotional dynamic in the family right now?
Well, I think our family is 100% converted Hoosier fans this season and will be tomorrow in that stadium. I've actually been amazed at how many, family, friends, relatives, acquaintances have actually posed that question to me as to who I'm going to be rooting for tomorrow. Obviously, growing up a Buckeye and having played there, any time that Ohio State is in a situation like this, I'm a diehard Buckeye at heart. But blood runs much deeper than school loyalties, and Isaiah having a chance like this on this national stage for he and his Hoosier teammates to basically write history for Hoosier Nation. We're all going to be wearing the cream and crimson and cheering loudly for Indiana tomorrow.
He is the father of Isaiah Jones. DJ Jones is a former Buckeye football player who's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I ask this of everybody, DJ, but I want to ask somebody that certainly is closely related to the situation here. Did you ever think when Isaiah goes to IU that we would be in this situation as we find ourselves right now? I mean, you're close to it. How amazing is it to you compared to, I guess, the rest of the college football world right now?
Well, you see all these articles, you hear these pundits on these talk shows, and they're all just floored. And I think I'm right there with them, right? So having grown up a Big Ten fan, and there's just that, every now and then there's that season where Indiana's competitive and they're winning more games than they're losing. But to see what they've done the last 2 years has been nothing short of remarkable. I still am having, problems getting over just the logo on the helmet and the success that they're having, because it's clearly not something that I was used to seeing when I played there.
What did you, when Isaiah decided to go to IU, what did you think about the IU football program then as a former Buckeye compared to how you feel about it 2 years in with head coach Curt Cignetti?
So when he made the decision and he was looking at schools, there was a few of the Big Ten schools that were recruiting him that he had an opportunity to play for, and I think in his mind he came down to he wanted to be a Big Ten linebacker. He wanted to play for some place that was close to home, where his family and relatives could see him play on a consistent basis. He wanted to be a part of something which at that time Tom Allen had a couple of successful years, and they were kind of coming out of one of the more successful years that they'd had. Now, that didn't quite work out as well his first couple years there, but in his mind, he wanted an opportunity, being an Ohio kid, to be able to play Ohio State every year. Wasn't highly recruited by Ohio State, kind of came in late in his recruitment process, but did not receive that offer. So in his mind, he wanted an opportunity to play the Buckeyes. At that point, they were still in that East-West division. Now it's kind of a wide open with the addition of the two West Coast schools, or the four West Coast schools. So I've enjoyed watching his progress. I've enjoyed watching the development that he's made. And I think everybody that's a Hoosier fan has enjoyed the success that Cignetti and just the process that Coach Cignetti's brought to the Hoosiers.
What has that been like for you? I mean, what stands out to you? And I know your son obviously is more into it as a part of that football team, but as a former player, what does Curt Cignetti bring to the table that gets out of these players in programs wherever he's been, whether it's James Madison prior to this or now at IU? What is it about him that gets so much and has such an understanding about the guys here are coaching up at a high level, DJ?
Well, I think in talking with Isaiah and just, kind of being a process-oriented guy and understanding what makes football programs successful and watching some of these high-level coaches, I think it's a process orientation. There's no wasted motion. It's attention to detail. I think when you look at where Coach Cignetti spent a large portion of his tenure was under a guy like Saban at Alabama, who did it as well as anybody. Just the attention to detail, the ability to find the right people. Any great organization, it's about finding the right people, the right coaches, the right players that fit that system. And I think Coach Cignetti's brought that to Indiana over his progression through his head coaching stops. Is just, we're not going to have any wasted motion. We're going to recruit the right people, high character guys that have a chip on their shoulder, guys that have potential and athletic ability, and then we're going to surround them with the right coaching staff. And you get your coaches trained up. Your coaches then train up the players, and just there's no stone left unturned. There's no scenario and situation that you're not prepared for, and I think that's what has led to to Indiana's, remarkable 2-year turnaround is just getting the right guy in the right situation. And let's not be coy. Like, Indiana has a large, it's a large state school. They have a large support staff out there. They have a large alumni base. There's a large contingency of industry and businesses that, are contributing to all of the revenue sharing. So, you're bringing in the right pieces. You have the funds to compete on that national level. And I think what you're seeing is when you see a guy with Coach Cignetti's process, coupled with, an administration, athletic director and president and university board that's going to support him with the funds, it's amazing what you can do in a short 2-year window.
DJ Jones joins us, a former Buckeye. He's the father of Isaiah Jones, the IU linebacker, with IU and Ohio State coming up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Lucas Oil Stadium for a Big Ten title. And DJ's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. It's interesting, right? I mean, you and I are about the same age here. And when you look at the landscape of what college athletics would be right now and how a team like IU can be a part of it compared to what the past might be, it is absolutely a 180, and sometimes it's recognizable. But when you do it right, like IU has from Scott Dolson through Kurt Cignetti and how they're doing it right now, I mean, you can find something when you're a program that historically you've never really found this level of winning, DJ.
Oh, absolutely, and I think Coach Cignetti has made that clear. It's the support from the AD, Scott Dolson, Pam Whitten, down to administration, just everybody, but there's examples over the last few years with this whole NIL thing where it's imploded, where you get the coaches that have unlimited budgets and they go out there and just buy teams and pay for teams and things like that. And it hasn't worked well. And so I think there's still that component of finding high character individuals, finding kids that have been raised in the right way, that is not necessarily all about chasing the dollar, that are coming in here for the right reason to become a part of something great. Guys like Coogan and some of these guys that he's been able to, Mendoza and bring in here, coupled with the ones he brought from JMU, coupled with the ones that held over from the coaching change a couple of years ago. And it's all about people. Any successful organization, any successful team, it's all about the right people.
It's DJ Jones who is with us. You got a good scouting report for us? Give us the father scout, because I mean you're unique to this show. You're a former player and a father of an IU player right now. So a former Buckeye, a father, an IU player. Give us a scouting report for both teams for tomorrow night.
Well, I certainly don't want Indiana to rescind my tickets that they sent me. So, but what I can tell you, is. And I only know it from the defensive side. I can't tell you what they're going to do. I can tell you what I think they're going to do. But from a defensive perspective, I think they're going to try to pressure the quarterback. I don't think that he's been pressured much this year. And I think they're going to play loose. I think they're going to play, carefree. I just think that Indiana has nothing to lose. I think Ohio State has everything to lose. No one expects per se that Indiana is going to come in there against the mighty Buckeyes, and I think that's going to bode well for Coach Cignetti and his team. I think his guys are juiced up and ready to play, and I think the defense is going to pin their ears back and try to get after that quarterback. And without indulging too much, that's kind of the way I see it going. And I think offensively, I think they're going to try to establish the run and kind of pop Ohio State in the mouth, which no one's been able to do this year either.
No, they haven't, too. You take anything away from last year in Columbus in November compared to what may happen coming up tomorrow night? Because I don't. I think Kurt Cignetti has referenced this before. I mean, it's a new season, got some new guys in there. I don't take a great deal away from what took place in Columbus last year compared to what we expect tomorrow night. Do you?
No, and to be honest with you, just kind of what I know on the inside from what happened last year, we stop Ohio State, we go down, we score, the crowd is quiet, and we've got a couple of botched special teams. We got a drop punt inside the 10. We got a punt that was supposed to go right that went left that resulted in a return for a touchdown. Some of these things are just, you don't have that window of error against a team of Ohio State's caliber. I think Ohio State's better than they were last year. I think Indiana's significantly better at different facets of the game. I think in the trenches we're better. I don't think we were intimidated last year. I just think that we got beat up in some certain areas. So I think this team has the moxie of Cignetti that, they're willing to swing and fight with anybody out there, and I think you're going to see that tomorrow in Lucas Oil Stadium.
He is DJ Jones, the former Buckeye. He's the dad of Isaiah Jones, linebacker for the Hoosiers. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Let me bring in a mutual friend of ours, DJ, right here. I feel like I know you a great deal now because Mike Poe is standing by with us, too, and he's the one that set this up. This is well done out of you. You do a lot of great things, Mike. This is one of them.
Well, thank you very much. I want to say hi to Big Sexy.
Big. Well, Sue. Yeah. I didn't know I could reference you as Big Sexy, DJ.
That's just kind of my name.
Please don't.
He may act like it, but he doesn't hate it when I call him.
I got you.
I'll just say it's an honor and a blessing to know the Joneses, and through them to get to know several of the players. All three of his kids. The youngest son plays for Colgate. He's a linebacker there. The oldest son, Jackson, happens to work with us. When you talk about character, they're the epitome of it. And guys like Carter Smith, I mean, just good folks, work hard, they make good grades. They're just good people. It's been a blessing to me to be a part of it for the last couple of years.
Well, you guys are both awesome. There's no question about that. DJ, I know you've gone through a lot, especially back during your football career. I was privy to one of the articles back in the 90s from you. You have persevered, and congratulations with all that you've accomplished. And, being a father myself, a lot of those accomplishments comes with those that, like Isaiah and your family, that continue to do what they do, and that makes it even extra special, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I tried to raise all of my kids to be individual and to achieve what they wanted to do based upon their desires, not necessarily what their dad wanted them to do. So they're all special in their own way, and it's been fun to watch each and every one of them kind of excel in their own way. So Isaiah's forging his own path, and I'm super proud to see where all of them are, and especially proud of what Isaiah has the opportunity to be a part of tomorrow.
We are incredibly happy for you. It has been an absolute pleasure to be introduced to you. So I don't know, like Poe's going to get me wrapped up in some things coming up tomorrow, I think. Are you going to be a part of these things that Mike Poe's putting together to wrap us up in?
Absolutely, we're going to be there, and so we've got a big contingent coming over from Columbus. I've warned a few of them not to be too raucous of Buckeye fans, but I've got some former teammates that are coming over. But it's all love. It's that's part of what the brotherhood of any team is just and I've got a lot of Isaiah Jones fans that are probably going to be wearing Ohio State gear tomorrow cheering on the Buckeyes, but they'll be cheering on number 46 as well.
Well, I cannot wait to meet you at least face-to-face coming up tomorrow, but it's been, again, a pleasure to have you on this show. Please, if you don't mind, send a message to Isaiah and go out there and kick a little ass coming up tomorrow night. But it has been your story and your family story is awesome, and congratulations on everything, and I can't wait to meet you face-to-face coming up tomorrow. DJ, thanks for coming on the show today.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Look forward to meeting you tomorrow.
You got DJ Jones, the former Buckeye tight end, who is the father of Isaiah Jones.
Thanks, Deej.
Huh?
I said thanks, Deej.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well done out of you, Mike Poe.
What's that?
You just want to produce the show full-time now, Deej? That's awesome.
I'll fill in.
That's a great idea. It's Mike Poe, everybody, right here. Thanks for coming out, man. Right. Mike Poe's going to hang out for a little bit. Tiebreakers, we're on Mass Ave, Bud Light Blue Friday. We have room for you. We'd love to see you, too. A brand-new place, ice-cold Bud Light, and incredible food. Rob is the owner. He also owns Whistle Stop. We'll talk to Rob coming up here in the 4 o'clock hour. Bob Lovell still to come as well. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fisher. And Chris Felica, the Bear of Fox, is going to join us at the 5 o'clock hour, too. The stream, the app, HD Radio. Hey, go ahead and drop in some messages right here. 317-239-1070. That is the text line, which is wide-ass open right now as well. Mass Ave, tiebreakers, Bud Light Blue Friday. My advice, do not go anywhere. And if you do go someplace, join us here, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
This place is on Mass Ave. It is spectacular, guys. Tiebreakers. Rob is the owner. He speaks with us. Coming up near the top of the hour, I think Amp Harris is going to drop in, too. Always something special during the holiday season with our good friend Amp, who joins us. Our friends from Zinc are here as well. See, Jim Jr. is in the house. That is good to see. And all our friends from Zinc. Bud Light Blue Friday. We've got Colts tickets to give away. Let me say, don't, again, be pushed away from not coming downtown because, it's going to be so crowded. Over here on Mass Ave, it is nice. So just pull on in. Come in here, get the great food at Tiebreakers, ice cold Bud Light. And as I always like to say, then thank me later for it, too. Shout out to BT Dew is in the house over there. I saw J-Law just walk in as well. A lot of great friends here. DJ Jones, the former tight end back in the 90s of Ohio State. And, by the way, his son Isaiah Jones is a starting linebacker on that Hoosier defense. That was an incredible story. And you probably will see a little bit more of that because, we always kind of lead the way on stuff. You'll see a little bit more of that coming up this weekend or certainly coming up tomorrow before the game. But, no, that's awesome. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, the Bear from Fox coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. All that and more as well. 317-239-1070. I did want to get to this. My good friend Jim Powell. Jim and Amy, one of the many that joined us in Columbus yesterday, wanted to thank us for coming down there. It was a great time at the Garage, downtown Columbus. And I was talking to Robin, the owner, afterwards, and we will be back. This is like this place right here. I love going to places where they absolutely love the fact that you are here. Love it. And that's all the places where we go out. And we get to talk about your place the entire time and get to talk to the owner, have the owner on, make picks. And a shout-out to Spencer Thompson of Thompson Furniture down in Columbus as well, who made all these Yeti thermoses for everybody on the air and the producers, including James. I think James, can't remember, James, if I got you a Colts or a Pacer one of the two. But I know I got Rickard a Broncos one. That's pretty funny. I got James Boyd of Fighting Illini. Kevin Bowen, Notre Dame. Jake IU. Eddie Garrison got Cincinnati. They made an Indiana State Sycamores for me. But shout out to Spencer, who joined us yesterday of Thompson Furniture. It was an outstanding time. Meantime, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, he's a good friend of the show per usual. He's got a lot to talk about. I know that the high school football finals are in the rear view now, but you've got high school basketball, you've got college basketball, you've got college football with IU playing the likes of a situation that we never thought we would ever see. Bob Lovell joins us now. Good afternoon, Bob. How are you?
I'm great, John. How are you?
What if I were to tell you like 3-4 years ago that this would be the IU football team in their position in 2025? Would you have smacked me around a little bit and said you're crazy?
I would have done what most people should try to do with you, is ignore you. But I don't know. Look, I add me to the list. I didn't think it was possible. You look at all through the years, they've hired. They've missed some on hires, but they brought in some people too who are pretty good football people, and no one ever won, and clearly no one to this level. And so I thought it was one of those kinds of positions that if you're looking to end your coaching career, take the IU football job. And so that's all changed. That's all changed dramatically. And I think the amazing thing to me is 2 years, only 2 years. And I understand it's a new world and things are different in terms of how you build rosters and all that stuff. But 2 years is 2 years. That's not a lot of time to move from the worst, having lost the most games in the country at the Division I level, to being potentially playing for a national championship. That's incredible.
It is among one of the more amazing stories.
No
Seriously,
question.
in college athletics especially, it's right there.
Well, it's no question, and it's what's fun is that they just go out and play. They don't listen to and what's also equally, I think, frustrating is the national media continues, and not that we care or should care what the national media says. They give them no respect. They just don't. They don't know what we know. we appreciate what they've done and understand it, but the idea now is take care of business, do what you're supposed to do, and let things happen.
It is. Rearview now, I mentioned a little bit earlier, high school football. We make that not-so-subtle transition to really high school basketball. But final thoughts on last weekend downtown Indy.
May have been one of the best weekends they've ever had, John, to be honest. Every time you go in, from my position, every time you go in and talk about in terms of previewing the state finals, you're always talking about, this will be a great game, that'll be a great game. Invariably, you have 2 or 3 that are blowouts, and then you're looking at how did this team get in. Now, I just think that last weekend, they were literally all closely played games. It wasn't determined in most cases until the end, and there were some truly magnificent performances by some individuals and by some teams. So I think everyone should be happy because I thought it was a great end to another tremendously well-played football season.
It was. Big Glenn's in the house making that transition now to basketball. And a part of this weekend here, obviously you go to West Lafayette, Iowa State, Purdue coming up tomorrow. Number 1 ranked Purdue. We got a lot more for that. IU Louisville gets things underway here downtown coming up tomorrow. And then, obviously the Big Ten title game with Ohio State and IU. But thoughts on the college basketball season. The one thing that stands out to me is I love the way that Matt Painter challenges his guys, and while his guys, raise their level of play, you want to see right now what you got. And certainly that schedule for Purdue has done that and will be doing even more than that coming up tomorrow, given an Iowa State team that loves to get up and down the floor and shoot at high-volume threes.
I just think it's Matt. Matt doesn't shy away from a challenge. I think when you're as good as they are, this is the kind of non-conference schedule you should play. You need to challenge your guys, and they're clearly being challenged. I love their emerging depth. I think it's going to get better and better. The new bigs, the Clough kid, the Jacobson kid, they add different dimensions to it. I still wish they could shoot the ball. I still wish they had 1 or 2 more guys who were consistently able to knock down jumpers, but there's plenty of time. But they play hard. They defend you. They share the ball. They're relentless. They have a toughness that a whole lot of teams don't have. And so I think legitimately they deserve to be number 1.
And no doubt about that. IU Louisville both trying to get back on track after disappointments. What do you like about that game coming up tomorrow, a little bit after 2 at Cambridge Fieldhouse?
Well, I think, from the IU perspective, how do you bounce back? This is the first chance, to bounce back from a loss. So how are you going to respond to a loss? Haven't had any, obviously, until Minnesota. So how do you bounce back? The same thing for Louisville. How do you both recover from a loss? And you're getting ready, obviously, for your conference play. So I think that's one of the big indicators. Secondly, IU maybe had some exposure in terms of their loss to Minnesota. I don't think they defended as well as they need to. Didn't shoot it like they need to. Tucker DeVries had a tough night, not being able. They guarded him well. They couldn't get any relief off of him, and so I think there are a lot of things going on. Incredible. I think it's an important game for both teams. Louisville in the same situation in some respects, but you got very few of these non-conferences left before you toss it up and get back into it full time in the conference.
He is Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk, has got you covered top to bottom with everything going on around here this weekend. He's joining us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I should mention this too. The Marion football situation. So they were set to play the NAIA football quarterfinals tomorrow. Instead, the season is over because of an ineligible player. All that surrounded that decision and what went down. What were your thoughts? Somebody that certainly has been close to college athletics your entire life. What did you think about what went down there?
Well, I when I was at IUPUI as the athletic director and basketball coach, we were a member of the NAI. So I have dealt with a similar eligibility situation. It did not preclude. It was basically our baseball team when we had a baseball team, and they were it's a very similar situation. Wasn't in the national tournament, but they were denied the opportunity to play in the district playoffs. And so I've been through it. I understand it. It's an unbelievably empty feeling for the administration and for the people there to be rolling along and doing what you're doing, and then suddenly, because of literally an administrative error, I don't know specifically what it was. I can speculate, but it's a situation where there was no malicious intent. There was no intentionality to it. More than anything, it's just an oversight in terms of the part of fulfilling your obligations and paperwork and those kinds of things. Assuring, more than likely, you're making sure that you assure everyone has passed the requisite number of hours to maintain their eligibility. And so it's unbelievable. You feel I felt I would still feel this way for the mistake that was made when it happened to us. And you can only say you're sorry so many times, and then you go out and make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else. And it impacted the eligibility of a couple of kids. It really did. And so you got to go to them and face them and say, hey, through no fault of yours, we're not going to be able to play. And I'm sure that was an extremely difficult message for Coach Karras and everybody to have to deliver to a group of guys that were legitimately on a pace to compete for a national championship.
Yeah, Steve Downing is the AD, and everybody that I'm around has told me that you could not have handled that any better in such an unfortunate situation as he has.
Oh, that's Steve. I mean, Steve's a classy guy. Always has been, always will be. And so, admit your mistake, do the best you can to make sure it doesn't happen. Even though it's a small campus, they talked about, we have to review our procedures, and that's what it was. I mean, that's exactly some procedural type of situation where, you got to have a good knowledge and understanding between your registrar's office, between your athletic department's office, and unfortunately, sometimes it happens. I argued as vehemently as I could with the NAI, why would you punish kids for a mistake that we made and they didn't? And that's always been my contention is, we screwed up. Why punish our kids for it? So,
Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk. I thought you probably have a really good angle at that, and I appreciate that very much. And what's a story that sometimes people have a tough time understanding. There's no doubt about that. Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk.
Thanks for making me relive those difficult moments. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what I'm all about on this show right here. Bob's got you covered tonight. Tomorrow night, Indiana Sports Talk. You got a Network Indiana affiliated station across this state. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Bob, I appreciate you more than you know. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate it, John. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
Bob Lovell right there. Ann Paris, Mike Wells, Chris Felica the Bear, Don Fisher, and more all still to come. Tiebreakers, Mass Ave. You got to get here. Ice Cold Bud Light, Blue Friday, Colts tickets, great food, new place. Doors opened about 2 weeks ago. This is a great starter to what is going to be a spectacular sports weekend in downtown Indy. Of course, got Pacers in Chicago later on tonight. Of course, we'll talk Colts in Jacksonville coming up on Sunday. They look relatively healthy with the exception of Sauce. Do that and more coming up in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. 317-239-1070. That is the text line number. You got to stream the app, HD Radio, and the AAA membership lounge via YouTube Live, along with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
On drugs. Any questions?
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Tiebreakers is awesome. Bud Light Blue Friday. Our friends from Zinc are staked out with us right now. Thank you all for joining us today. This is a destination on Mass Ave. Let's do this. Here's where to get started. What's going to be a spectacular weekend? You can't have a spectacular weekend without me on a Friday and a Bud Light Blue Friday. Your chance at Colts tickets. Colts conversation coming up too. Sauce Gardner, he has been ruled out, but everybody else is good to go. I'm going to tell you this. And I don't want to be. And this is one of the reasons why I made my prediction yesterday on our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna's Old Tequila Shots. I don't want to be all pissy and bitchy coming up on Monday, but I will be if they lose again and haven't won since 2014 in Jacksonville. I don't care what anybody says. They still have enough talent. And it still is the beginning stages of up front, offensively and defensively. There's zero reason why you need to be going down there and losing to Jacksonville. Get this thing back on track. And that is for both lines and the head coach. Those are the ones that I have outlined that need to make this change. Back to that coming up in a minute. When Schuler's spreadability. When Schuler's elite level snacking this weekend got you covered. Crackers, chips, vegetables in a variety of flavors. When Schuler's can be found. Neiman's Harvest Market, Carmel, Meyer location, state of Indiana. Gordon's Food Service as well. Elite level snacking. That is Gordon's Food Service. All right, 317-239-1070. Text line messages, bring them. 239-1070. Your voice to me, bring them. And Paris, Chris Hagan. We've got a lot more for you coming up. The Bear from Fox, Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, tiebreakers, Bud Light Blue Friday. All we need is you. And we're going to enjoy this bad boy to get your weekend started here in Indianapolis with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Now go away.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
We are back at tiebreaker. So there we go. A little Marvin Gaye, the late great right there. Got to give it up. Text line number 317-239-1070. JMV driving from Indiana, Ohio State line. It brings me joy to know that win or lose, Ohio State fans have 60 miles of construction to drive through to get back from Indy via I-70. This drive sucks. I tell you what doesn't. It is tiebreakers on Mass Ave, Bud Light Blue Friday, Colts tickets we can win. We got Chris Hagan of Fox 59 just showed up. And they brought the food right out
I know.
for you.
They saw me coming.
They saw you.
Two quick things.
Yes.
I noticed right away, like that hockey-style, arena-style Jumbotron there.
That's awesome.
Yes. Nice touch. And two, speaking of tiebreakers, due to tiebreakers, Ohio State is actually the home team tomorrow. They'll be in their, what do they call that jersey color? They don't call it red. They call it something. Scarlet and silver, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So, IU will be in all white. And technically, due to a lengthy amount of tiebreakers, Buckeyes home team tomorrow, even though we're playing here in Indianapolis.
Well, thank you for adding that.
I come in strong. I come in hot.
Do.
I have a take about the Jumbotron. I give some information about the game, and now I just sit up and have this beverage while you guys talk to them.
Ice cold Bud Light is what Hagan is having. Rob and Wayne are here right now. Rob is the owner, and obviously Wayne is also a part of it. You guys are both owners, right?
Yep.
I want to short side my friend.
Who owns the Jumbotron,
right
though? If you had to take that home, who's taking that home?
We'll fist fight over it.
Cut it right down the middle.
Hey, can I get one of those and put it in my living room?
Absolutely.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw that, and I was like, I wish I had that in my house. You're going to have people on different sides of the room watching.
Somebody get a shot of that Jumbotron so we can send it out to everybody right here.
You can retweet it.
All right, so we got Rob. You know Rob from the Whistle Stop. We've been to the Whistle Stop before, no doubt about that. But how'd you guys get together on tiebreakers here on Mass Ave?
Wayne's asked me for years to do a bar with him, and this place came available. There was two spots I was looking at. The one on Mass Ave came available. Hit him up, said, you want to go look at it? We came and looked at it and was like, yeah, this is it. Mass Ave needs a sports bar.
Wayne's never asked me. I'm in Center Grove, too. Never asked me to do jack squat. So
see how he treats you?
I'm telling you, man. So what is this? What other businesses, Wayne, do you have besides this? And then you taking on this? Why?
Yeah. Well, I own a construction company called JMV Construction.
Yeah.
And like I said, Rob, he asked me if I wanted to do a bar with him, and ironically, I said yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea, too. How much played into it just with the success he's had at Whistle Stop and the type of place that was, knowing he knows what he's doing around here?
Yeah, I was a frequent person that used to attend there, so I felt like that he managed it really well, and the food was good, and drinks were cold, so here we are.
You know, the one thing I noticed, Rob, too, and I love this, I brought up Tommy S. a little bit earlier, too, and, over the years I've gotten to know you and others.
Sure.
I love the fraternity you guys have formed because you guys are really rooting for one another in all this.
Absolutely.
And it's incredibly cool.
Absolutely.
To me. Yeah. It is incredibly cool. How long have you been doing this? And not tiebreakers like 2 weeks. I know that to be true.
Yeah.
But Whistle Stop.
Whistle Stop, I was there 4 years. Stadium Tavern Head for 8 years.
Yeah.
And before that, I bartended.
Did you really? That's how this all got started?
I used to run the Ugly Monkey back in the day. At one point in time, I was head of security at Ike and Jonesy's.
So, now I know where I remember you from.
I go way back.
You threw me out of there one night.
Well, you had to pry me off of Debbie when I was rocking my Stonewashed cuff jeans. Slow, grinded to poison by Belle Biv DeVoe back in the day.
Heck yeah.
Good.
Heck yeah.
Now, Ike and Jonesy's 90s stories. Where do we begin? Do you got some for us?
Man, that place was wild.
That's legendary, brother. That is legendary.
That's the only place I ever worked at where there was a bar fight that made CNN. And that's legit. It was during the World Police and Fire Games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it made why did it make CNN?
It was just a brawl.
Well, I mean,
like
it was
Did they break up into, was it cops versus firefighters?
It started out as a fireman smacked one of the waitresses. I grabbed the cop that smacked her. And then that's our brother.
Right, yeah.
And the cops and firemen became brothers. It ended up with everybody just choking everybody else, waiting to be saved from being choked. But it was massive.
That is CNN worthy right there.
Oh, it was crazy.
Man, I did not know you did that at Ike and Jonesy's. That is how long was Ike and Jonesy's open?
Oh man, for years. I'm not even sure. It was legendary. I know when I first started there, I was like, man, I've made it. You know what I mean? Like this is it. And I was just a kid then.
I would always go in there to try to pick up Strange. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, why wouldn't you?
That's all it's all about.
It's the whole reason I got the job there. I was looking for MILFs or cougars.
No cougars. No. And then the Ugly Monkey.
Yeah.
I had
Ugly Monkey?
I had one show, and this is at a different station at the Ugly Monkey back in the day with me and Jack Trudeau that absolutely went crazy. I mean, it
was that in Union Station or the one next to the whistle stop?
It was one next to the whistle stop. And it was before a Colts preseason game against the Eagles.
Okay.
And it got, I don't even know if I want to share some of what happened in that.
I understand.
Ugly Monkey was the right thing to say because it got ugly and it got ugly early, brother.
Yes.
Let me tell you that.
That was the place.
All right, Tiebreakers is our place right now on Mass F. So the big idea here, who's the star? Rob, Wayne, who started this
Both
idea?
of us.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about when you're trying to transform this place, dude?
Good food.
Yeah.
Good drinks. Good vibes.
Well,
that's what we're looking for.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier, and also really good prices.
Yes.
The price tag on stuff can be. People go out and go, whoa, you get sticker shock on a menu.
Yes.
You don't want that. You guys.
I got a $6 cheeseburger and fries, man.
That's exactly what Jay Query had mentioned to me a little bit earlier, too. What's in front of me right now?
Deep fried ribs.
All right, so what's
got our spicy peach barbecue sauce served with waffle fries. You can. That's the other thing on our ribs.
Is that diet for me right there?
No. Carnivore.
You got a live
carnivore.
I can do protein though. That's
right.
all right.
Oh yeah, that's good.
You better give me the fries.
No doubt.
The thing about our ribs is we deep fry the ribs.
Yeah.
And then most places they put barbecue sauce on it. You pick what sauce you want on it. So if you want garlic parm on your ribs, put garlic parm. Buffalo, put buffalo. We got you covered.
Love it. Hey, guys, thanks for having us. Can we do this again, too?
100%.
Tell everybody about this weekend in particular, what you all have going on, and then certainly after that, too. So hours and all this here on Mass Ave. And by the way, you're in the heart of Mass Ave, which is incredibly special.
Yeah, we're right across the street from Bakersfield, right next to Slapfish.
Yep.
Great location. Prime real estate, we feel.
Man, Mass Ave, and it just continues to grow and grow and grow. So,
yes, sir. Great place to watch a game. As you see, there's TVs everywhere. Got 27 TVs for our space, the mini Jumbotron, the sports ticker. So if you want to stay up to date on all your live scores or standings, we got the ticker going on.
I like the ticker, too, because it has logos. Sometimes you just see words and you can't say it. But right there, got the Chiefs right there, Dolphins. I mean, that's first class. And I've already posted on X a picture of the Jumbotron there. So, John, you can retweet that.
Hey, how much is that Jumbotron? Can you sell?
He's sold on the Jumbotron. You can tell already.
I dig that.
78?
Is it 78K?
Something like that.
Oh, $78.
100.
7,800? Well, hell, I could hang out from my damn cell.
Now, I will say, our audio video people, Noble Audio Video, took them 4 days to get that up. 4 days to get it up.
Yeah, 4 days.
And when we bought it, the guy was like, you can do it at home by yourself, man. Not a problem at all. And the audio video people were like, yeah, he lied.
See, there's zero way. I can't even hang a flat screen TV in my house.
I'm the same way.
I want no part with it.
Me.
Yeah,
well, you're in construction too, man. Come on, Wayne.
I started and I said, we'll let the professionals do it.
How are things going down in CG for you two? You got any big ideas going on down there too?
No, pretty good. Not really have any ideas right now. Just focusing on tiebreakers right now.
Hey, guys, thank you for having us, and please have us. We'll get in touch, too, with Brent.
Absolutely.
Maybe sometimes we'll come back for a tavern tour stop or something.
Would love
like
to have
that,
you back.
too.
Absolutely.
Hey, bounce back over in a little bit. Rob, it's good to see you again, pal. Wayne, good to see you, too, man. Stay in touch, too. We're Rob and Wayne of Tiebreakers on Mass Ave here with us on a Bud Light Blue Friday. That's Chris Hagan and Amp Harris. He's shooting video over there right now. He's going to join us coming up in just a minute. This weekend is unprecedented around here, is it not, for college football?
You know, I was thinking, barring – now, obviously, the Super Bowl was here and the Final Four was here, but barring that, this might be the biggest weekend here in town and in Central Indiana, sports-wise, barring Final Fours and Super Bowl. When you think, I know some of the luster's off that IU-Louisville game, but that game, IU in the championship game, Purdue right up the road playing a top 10 opponent. That's going to be great. Butler's at home, too. Let's not sleep on that. But, yeah, as far as tomorrow, the excitement level for sports, and it's such a big day, John. I'm even working on a Saturday. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Are you working on a Saturday?
I'm working on a Saturday.
What are you doing on a Friday, though? Hanging out with me?
Hanging out with you guys. You know what's funny is when you go to text somebody a picture, I was going to text Alexa Ross a picture, but Amp's thing popped up to airdrop. I'm like Amp somewhere in the picture. He's within airdropping distance.
Is Alexa coming out
and
today?
I looked up and
or is
saw
she working?
She's at Lucas Oil. I saw her up there.
Where's Whitaker? Is
Whitaker's coming up from she and Mike Wells are teachers down there, so they had some kind of teachers meeting and our professors, whatever, staff meeting, and she's heading up. So if she can make it in time, she's going to come by here.
I think. Hey, James, is Wells on at the bottom of the hour?
Yes, he is.
Oh, Wells is coming on here in a little bit.
There we go.
So that should be good.
Would you rather see Wells or Tricia in person?
What do you think?
Exactly. Mike Wells it is.
Good idea right there. That's Chris Hagan, Amp Harris. Amp is here as well, man. Load up here, Amp. I know you got we love you for a variety of things because you're a legend around here, but you also, this time of year, I mean, you really engage, obviously, to try to give back to the community, and you do it once again now.
Yeah, man. Reggie Wayne and myself, we're doing the annual Amp Harris and Friends Put a Smile on a Child's Face toy giveaway. Something I've done, man, for probably the last 18 to 20 years. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I get to partner with my favorite sports organizations right here in Indianapolis. Yeah. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Shout out to my people over there, Mark Miles, Doug Bowes, Jimmy McMillan, Allison Millington, for allowing me to come in, man, and allow families to get a chance to experience the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A lot of families, Jay, that may not ever get a chance to experience the greatest racing and spectacle and racing here in Indianapolis. And then shout out to the Indiana Pacers and the Indianapolis Colts, man, because they come alongside with me big time. And the Pacers give me 500 tickets to give away to the families. The Colts, they donate a lot of money for me to be able to purchase toys to give back to the families, man. And to date, we're up to 18,000 kids.
That's great, man. How long have you been doing this, Sam?
Yeah, I think it's anywhere between 18 to 20 years.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a lengthy time.
It's been a long time. I actually started it when Edrin was here. When Edrin James was here, he and I and my attorney at the time, who's like my big uncle, Nathaniel Lee, we started doing it, man.
Wait a minute. Nathaniel Lee's your uncle?
That's what I call him. He's like my big brother, my mentor.
Well, I don't know. I can't drive down the street without seeing a damn billboard of him.
Shout out Nate Lee, man. One of the best attorneys in the country, man. He got billboards and signs everywhere. Jay's like, he said,
I go, wait a minute. I go, there he is right there. I had no idea.
Yeah,
now, I'm going to look at that completely differently now.
Yeah, I keep it in the family. So we started it, man, years ago. And ever since then, I just built on it. You know, we went from like 50, 75 families. And one day I woke up and said I wanted to do 300 families, Jay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it was like crazy because it was myself, George Hill, Robert Mathis, Darius Leonard when he was a rookie. T.Y. Hilton has been a part of it, Paul George. So yeah, I love it because like this moment, sitting here talking to two of my favorite people who just happen to be in sports, to be able to come on here, man, and share this word and give this information. And the reality is the toy giveaway for me, Jay, is what I call my magnet.
Yeah.
That's the topical stuff. That's the stuff that makes people happy. But the most important thing is to be able here to talk about why, the impact and the intent of why I do what I do. Being a black kid, man, growing up, inner city family, youngest of 8, know what it's like to wake up on Christmas and you don't know if you got French fries under the table, a pair of socks, or an empty box.
Yeah.
But I know my mother did the most she could with the best she had. So to be in a position now to be able to have the privilege to give back to our community and have my community come alongside of me, that's what it's really about, because then to the families, they see hope. They see Reggie Wayne out there. They see race car drivers out there, and they see themselves driving on the track. That's like if Amp can do it, Reggie can do it, you can do it.
And what's sad is when you get older in life, you realize the difference in socioeconomics, and you realize, you know, life can be tough. But when you're a kid, you don't realize, hey, why is Bobby and Susie getting this and I'm not getting anything? You don't realize, why doesn't Santa Claus care about me? So in that moment, it's even more confusion. So to fill that gap and make it what parents that are having struggles and trying to make their Christmas as special as other kids, you can't really explain that. And that's the gift that you keep giving, because I'm sure there's folks out here now, you say 15, 20 years, there's probably folks out there now 30 years old that benefited from that and really appreciate that, and now they carry that forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a blessing, man. Like yesterday, I was volunteer at a senior citizens event, and, someone's grandparents came up to me and said, hey, I just want to give you a hug. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'm thinking she's like, oh, come here, you got a pretty smile. I said, thank you. But she really was like, I remember like 7 years ago, you blessed my family because my daughter had lost all of her kids' toys because their house caught on fire. And I'm like, oh, wow. And so to your point, you don't know the impact of the people that you may have touched along the way. And so, I just want to be a beacon of hope, man, that you see somebody like myself. I'm not an athlete. Even though I'm in the sports business, I'm in the music business, entertainment business, but I'm not the person that they glorify. And, the old additive, you can go pro at something else other than being a professional athlete. I'm the something else.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing, that when people see me, I want them to see that. Like when I talk about and I take pictures with you guys, they're like, oh, man, I didn't know you knew Chris Hagan. Oh, you know JMV? Yeah. So, see, you can know those same people, but you don't have to be in a football uniform or in a basketball uniform. Hell, you can go pro at underwater basketball, Chris.
I tried that.
Right on target.
I got cut. But it's like this, too. It's not like you're a billionaire and you're just writing checks and saying, go take care. I mean, you're in the trenches. You're going up. You're meeting folks. You're getting gifts. You're going out to the Speedway. This isn't like you just, I'll put my name on it and I'll just sit back and take the accolades. You roll up your sleeves and you get busy each and every year.
Yeah, I mean, like literally people don't, and that's why I give a huge shout out to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, because they open up their doors to the Ann Paris Foundation for 2.5 weeks. And for 2.5 weeks, I have the opportunity, because that's how long it takes for this event to take place in order for us to build it out. You're talking 1,000. This year, the need is so much greater, because I normally do 1,000 people to like 1,000 to 50 people. This year, I'm up to 1,200 kids already. And when we opened up the portal, it filled up in like an hour and a half. So that just tells me how important what we're doing it really is. So I tell people, if you want to make a donation, you can go to my foundation website, which is AnnParisFoundation.org, or you can find me on social media under Ann Paris, and we can figure out if you got toys, money, whatever you have to help. It's not about just me and Reggie. It's about our community, and that's what our people get a chance to see.
Man, you're an incredible dude.
Oh, thank you.
Know that.
Oh, you're talking to him.
No, I'm not looking to my right here. Hey, Amp, have you seen the new old building up here on St. Joseph's?
I did.
What are you thinking?
I can't wait to go in there. And, hey, man, listen. You see the beauty of it. JMV, when I moved in to Emmett's building, I've shared this story with you. Chris, I picked out the gym downstairs there.
No.
Well done.
Yes, I told Jeff Samoyan I need a basketball court. They're like, we're going to put a gym in there. I said, you have to put a basketball court in there, because that's what I do. And he was like, really? So we used to have half-court basketball games when I was on the radio there. So I picked out I'm responsible for the basketball courts that JMV and them don't use, didn't use anymore.
Well, I mean, my jumper kept hitting the roof.
Now, that's true, because the ceiling is about 7 feet high.
That's why I go line drive.
So you can't get any arc on your shot down there. That's the worst place to work. I used to go, because we used to play games like that.
It kind of jacks up your jumper a little bit.
Tears it up.
Yeah,
like, we used to play, and we would go play back then Conseco Fieldhouse when it was first open. And Emmett's, because, we had the sponsorship there, they gave us like 2 weeks out of the month, and we could go play ball there.
Yeah.
So these guys go play, and it's like after playing in the gym at Emmett's, then you go to Casino. And
everything's short. Every damn thing is short right there.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful thing, man.
Hey, Amp, in closing here, how can people get involved with what you're doing right now?
Simple. You can go to AnnParisFoundation.org, again, and you can make a donation there, or you can follow me on any social media platform, Ann Paris on X, Ann Paris on Facebook, Ann Paris on Instagram. And again, whatever you can do, whether if you join forces with myself and Reggie Wayne, you could do that, or just do something for somebody else. That's all I ask. Like, be kind to somebody else, because Lord knows in this place and time that we're in, we need humility and humanity to show its face up.
And no doubt about that. That is the legend, Amp Harris. Thanks for coming out here, brother.
Man, I appreciate
that.
it. I didn't know nothing about tiebreakers, bro.
Well, it's all new.
Hey, look at that Jumbotron on the TVs there.
I see this.
That's in my damn living room right there. But Rob is the owner of the Whistle Stop, so you know that this place is going to be good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You going to hang out for a second?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. What I got to do is Friday. Ain't got no
chill.
job.
Just chill. Hey, we'll take a break and come back. Chill. Mike Wells going to join us on the other side.
We can talk
too.
about any kind of sport y'all want to talk about.
We got that coming up. Chris Hagan is here as well. We're live at Tiebreakers on Mass Ave Bud Light Blue Friday. Do not go anywhere. We're coming back with you coming up on the other side. 93.5, 107.5, The Fan.
got a boner at PE in high school. He was wearing sweatpants. It was really embarrassing, so this song goes out to him.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
The Mike Wells Slow Jam Reentry live at Tiebreakers Bud Light Blue Friday here on Mass Ave with Amp Harris, Chris Hagan. I'm JMV. Thank you for joining us. Mike, go ahead and take this away on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline.
Hold on. Turn it up. You got Amp Harris. I can't sing today.
No, you got to do that. And sing it. You got to sing in front of Amp. Come on, man. Don't whip out.
Amp set you up, Wells. Amp set you up.
Hey, he got 3 tones that he could do. You got Bobby Brown, you got Johnny Gill, you got Ralph Tresvant.
Man.
I've never seen Wells tap out. He tapped out.
He did, didn't he?
He tapped out.
Wow.
Hey, you should have surprised me and didn't tell me Amp was there. I'm not trying to ruin our chance to go see these boys in February, Jeff.
I was just going to set you up, Mike, to have a sing-off with Johnny Gill.
Hey, listen. I know
you say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Wells. I was going to say, when Amp says he was going to set you up as a sing-off, he ain't kidding, because one time him and Ep said I was going to be the opening act for him on a show, and I laughed, and I go, that's funny. And then a week later, I'm like, hey, Amp, where's my tickets? And Amp said, oh, no, man, you're opening act. and so next thing you know, I'm on that stage in front of a sold-out crowd, and I'm like, if Amp says it's a sing-off, you better not think he's joking.
Say less. All you got to do is tell me when, Mike. I'll let you learn the words and the lyrics to that song right there. And you don't sing Johnny's part. I mean, Johnny won't sing his part. I'll let you sing it.
Listen, let me get up there and go ahead and serenade a little bit. I'll go to a little Johnny, I'll be a bootleg of the New Edition movie of Johnny Gill, all right?
That would clear out the arena so fast if Wells got up there and started singing.
No, we're all still going in February, though. We're all still going right now. Yeah.
Hey, we in there.
So what I'm going to do, you know what? Speaking of that, hey, JMV, this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to get Johnny Gill to call in.
I'd love that.
And we're going to all be on the call, and we're going to call Mike Wells. And, Mike, I'm going to let you sing while Johnny, you think I'm joking.
He ain't joking.
Hey, you know what? You do that. No. Hey, you do that. You get Johnny to call in. Hey, let me go in and serenade a little my, or rub you the right way type stuff. I got you.
Oh my God!
That is going to be spectacular. Mike Wells of ESPN Radio is with us. So you've been down at IU this week, obviously teaching kids and such. Fever pitch for this football program. I mean, there's really nothing like it, Mike.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Honestly, and it's funny. I'm on my way from Bloomington right now. That IU has overshadowed Ohio State in popularity this year. I mean, I never thought that would happen. Nobody has even been talking about Ohio State as they've been the number one team in the country for most of the year. It is all about what Kurt Signetti has done down there, what Fernando Mendoza has done on his way to potentially winning the Heisman Trophy ceremony, and just the hype that IU is playing in his backyard in the Big Ten championship game tomorrow night. And according to a student of mine, was on the last IU football team to beat. Monday morning when I'm back on campus, we could be talking in class about IU knocking off the big boys over there in Columbus.
Wells, this is something I was going to bring up, and it may not be a popular opinion, but let me get your take on this. I think, big picture, IU is better off if they lose tomorrow, because if they win, they may have to play Ohio State again, and history will tell you that college football rematches of a team go back to Alabama and Georgia when they played for the title, LSU, Alabama, Oklahoma, Nebraska way back in the day. Rematches in the postseason of college football seldom favor the team that won the first game. So it would be well and good, celebrate if IU wins tomorrow, but then in the playoffs, you're already going to have an Oregon team that's looking for a rematch and some payback, and then you'd also throw in an Ohio State team looking for rematch and payback. I just think it'd be hard to beat Ohio State twice. Not taking anything away. I mean, if you're better than them, just go out there and beat them twice. I'm just saying history says it's awful hard to do that. You'd hate to win that game and throw a parade and hang a banner, and next thing you know, you see them again in the playoffs and you lose.
Hey, listen, Hagan, I love my check from Indiana University, Bloomington, and you try to set me up. But in all seriousness, I'm going to put my journalistic hat on. I actually agree with you on this. But the thing is, I think Ohio State is very vulnerable right now. They have not played a game closer than 18 points since their first week game against Texas. So they truly haven't been tested. IU went on the road and beat the Oregon team. They had to go on the road and get an incredible touchdown catch against Penn State to win. So I think if you look at a vulnerability standpoint, Ohio State is more vulnerable right now than IU because they don't know what it's like to play in a close game. It's been 3 months since they played in a close game. But with that said, you're right. It will be hard to beat Ohio State twice. And if you're going to lose once to them, let it be now and get revenge in the college football playoffs. And if we're going to take a step forward on the college football playoffs, if you're IU, I think you want to play Ole Miss. You want to get an Ole Miss team that is just lost its coach at LSU. It's like the NCAA tournament. You want to be able to avoid the better team until the national championship game. So you want to play the bracket game and hope you get an easier road to the national title.
Well, Wells, that you brought up a great point, as you always do. It's the same thing as in the March Madness. Sometimes it's not who you beat, it's who you didn't have to beat. You know what I'm saying? Teams you didn't have to play. Maybe there's an upset somewhere else or you caught a break as far as the scheduling. And I guess a better way to reframe it, instead of saying IU's better off if they lose, I'll say it like this. If they lose tomorrow, it's not the end of the world. Let's leave it at that. Like there's bigger fish to fry than just saying you beat Ohio State to win. And in today's landscape of the playoffs and what their ultimate goal is, everything doesn't die with a loss tomorrow.
No, it does not. Off of that. Hey, John, I know you're gonna have to kick me off soon. Hey, what's up with that team, that other team that plays in Lucas Oil Stadium, brother?
They're not getting the help they need with the offensive line and defensive line, and certainly I think the head coach calls plays, and I know that's a playbook, but calls plays like he's got a Daniel Jones quarterback that was in September and not to where he's been compromised with that cracked stick right now. I think that's all led to problems. And, I think we look at Sunday as if you don't get back on track and win for the first time in Jacksonville since 2014, I mean, you can honestly look at this team maybe getting the squeeze out of the AFC playoff picture ultimately. I mean, this is one of those must-win situations that absolutely makes a must-win Sunday.
Yeah, and then, honestly, I mean, you think a couple weeks ago, it was about, okay, everything is perfect with this franchise. Daniel Jones is going to set himself up for a nice long-term contract. No more job questions about Chris Ballard, the general manager. You don't make the playoffs, and you have Carly Ursay in her first full year of having control with her sisters. You got to worry about what the trickle-down effect will be off of everything.
Yeah, because that's what John and I talked about on Sunday night about we thought, foolishly perhaps, no doubt going to win the division, and we were only talking about the 1 seed and where the seeding is. And now not only is all that back on the table, so too is job security. If this thing really goes sideways, I mean, is that discussion back in the mix as well?
Oh, you have to think, because the reality is we know how this business works. You got to win to stay on. And the fact, and Chris Ballard is still general manager after only being in the playoffs twice since being hired in the winter of 2017, that is a rarity in professional sports, that you keep a job that long without having long-term success. I mean, they're trying to run Mike Tomlin out of Pittsburgh right now, and he hasn't had a losing record in 19 years, but the fans are chanting, "Fire Mike Tomlin," at Heinz Stadium.
What's going to be weird about this is, let's just say, for example, the negative tilt continues to happen, and you look at the general manager and you look at the head coach. But everybody tells me, well, they're going to have to rebuild. They don't have the assets right now to rebuild. You've got to reboot and then go on with others that are probably going to go, well, I don't know if I want this guy. Maybe that's not my quarterback. It is going to be a really awkward situation. And that's why I think this is going to be the worst of scenarios, because it's almost like it would have been better off had they been bad the entire year and not teased everybody in the first 2 months or blown it all up back in January, as opposed to fading out the way they have recently for the remainder of the season. Again, that even magnifies more the importance of that game on Sunday in Jacksonville, Mike.
Without a doubt. I mean, listen, Hagan was a foot taller, had more hair on his head. The last time the Colts beat the Jaguars down in Jacksonville with Andrew Luck as quarterback. And last thing, and I'll let you guys run. I think Amp Harris can agree with me on this one. I hate we're not spending any time talking about the Pacers right now. It sucks that, this team was a Tyrese Halliburton torn Achilles away from potentially winning the NBA title, and they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. We're not able to talk about them after such a great run that they made back in June.
Yeah, that's why this has to be a gap year. This has to be the gap year. You got to jump right back on next year.
Think of the Spurs when the Spurs had David Robinson out for a year, and that the draft pick they got. And look how you can make hay down the road, but right now you gotta pay the consequences.
Yeah. So Mike, as long as I don't have to watch that Robinson Earl shoot another jump shot. I mean, he can go in there and rebound stuff, but, man, his jumper's broke ass, Mike. I don't know what I can do with that.
Hey, fellas, stay warm. And, hey, it's going to be a hell of a time in downtown Indianapolis for sports tomorrow, man. Have fun and stay safe. Hagan, keep your ass out of trouble this weekend.
Come on, man.
I will try my best, but you're on speed dial if something happens.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Appreciate you, brother.
Be good, fellas.
Mike Wells of ESPN Radio. It's Chris Hagan and Amp
Real
Harris
quick
with us.
before we go to break, on the topic, Amp, I know your guy A.D. Mitchell, you got to be happy. I mean, got a fresh start and had a huge game.
Yeah, man, I was excited to see A.D., man, finally get himself together, get his feet up under him, man, because I know mentally how tough it was for him to be in a situation like that, to think that your future is one place, and then overnight you wake up and it's like you're like Chris Paul.
Yeah, done.
You're like, you're out of here, and you're like, what? I didn't realize it. So, no, it was a great thing because I know, like, in talking to Reggie put a lot of time in to mentally get him prepared, to get him to become, and working on him to be a professional, which a lot of these people don't understand how difficult that is to come into the NFL as a rookie, especially as a wide receiver. In a situation like this, and you have these expectations and you don't meet those expectations. So I was super proud of AD, man, because he bounced back, and behind the scenes he was happy for himself.
Amp Harris, you going to hang around more?
Yeah, man. What I got to do is Friday. I ain't got no job.
Harris here. Chris Hagan of Fox 59. I'm JMV. Tiebreakers, Bud Light Blue Friday. We're on Mass Ave. Couple of things. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, top of the hour. Chris Felica, the Bear from Fox 530. You guys don't go anywhere. The stream the app, HC Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. The text line of 317-239-1070 as well. Sit tight. 93.5, 107.5. The Fan.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Oh, the bucket of ice-cold Bud Light is so good here. Dev's the on-site engineer. James back at the studio. My name is John. JMV as well. You can call me that. Call me whatever you want. Thank you for joining us here. Tiebreakers. Mass Ave, brand new, 2 weeks old. Rob is the owner. Rob Strong. You may know him from the Whistle Stop. He is the owner. Wayne, also from down where I live, Center Grove, is also an owner as well. The Tiebreakers is the location. That's where we are on a Bud Light Blue Friday. With Colts tickets we're giving away. We've got the football toss going on. And we've got Chris Hagan of Fox 59 here.
John, I hadn't been with you in a while.
You haven't?
I know. I was back in Alabama, and I wanted to say thank you and to all your listeners who reached out to me when my mom passed away. So, yeah, it's been rough, but it's always good to hear from folks and see them in person. And you and Amp both reached out, so appreciate you.
Yeah, I know it's been tough. I could tell when you called me on your way back there. I don't know if I've ever heard you, and rightly so, as emotional as you were on that particular evening.
Everybody knows I have no feelings. I have no heart. But when it comes to my mom, I certainly do.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Amp Harris is here as well. And the holiday cheer you're trying to spread, to tell everybody again how they can get involved, buddy. Hold on one sec. Go ahead and hit him on. There you go. Go ahead, Amp.
There we go. It's the Amp Harris. And first of all, man, again, talking about your mother, bro, I told you I can't even understand or even relate. All I could do was give you an air hug at the time, brother, because in that moment, it was really hard to see someone who's a mama's boy,
right,
that lose their best friend. So that's tough. And when we talk about like the things of giving back and being in a philanthropic space, that's again part of my story, is what I had to go through. And I shared it yesterday when I was on with Jake, but brother just came up to me and was like, man, you almost made me cry talking about my story. And the part of it that people say, well, Amp, why do you do what you do? Most people don't understand trauma could either do one or two things. It could eat you or you eat it. And so in my space, man, at 13, you know my story. At 13, right, I watched my brother get shot in the head by my stepfather. And at the time, my mother lost her son, her husband, and also she thought that she was going to lose her youngest son, which is me, mentally, because she experienced the same trauma that I did when we watched that together. So as from 13 years old to the person that I am today, that is what makes me stronger. And I tell people all the time, I know a lot of physically strong men and women, Jay. But at the end of the day, my mother is the strongest person I've ever met in my entire life. I grew up with the Bible. So at that moment, we're taught to retaliate and get back. And my mother was like, no, Amp, I don't care what you want me to do. My Bible teaches me you don't do an eye for an eye. So as I grew up and I started realizing how thankful I am with the privilege that I have, like sitting here right now, I look at this as a privilege. Some people come up to us and, man, you guys are amazing. You do this, you do that, you do this. But I was one of those products that you wasn't supposed to make it.
Right.
So to be in a position where I can say I can use my influence to be on this show, but I also can use my influence to get the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And when I look up at that pylon and I see the Amp Harris Foundation, that's not representing me. That's representing all of those that come from humble beginnings.
Right.
White, black, purple, green. So to influence people with what I know is one of the most impactful magnets, sports, music. So that's why I'm thankful to have, like you guys, a Reggie Wayne, George Hill, the Pacers coach, Indy Motor Speedway come alongside of us and give back to our community, because as one of my slogans is, we are one. So my toy giveaway is not just about me, it's about all of us. People that are hearing this, I just got a text from someone telling me, Jay, while you was going to the restroom, hey, I want to make a donation. I just heard you on JMV. I want to be able to do my part. I don't have a lot, but whatever I have, I want to be able to give to you. So that's when you know, these kind of moments are impactful, because people are listening to this show every day, the biggest sports show in the state of Indiana. And we're talking sports, but we also can't just stick to sports.
Right.
So, if you can help somebody, it ain't got to be the Amp Harris and Reggie Wayne toy giveaway. Help somebody in your neighborhood. Help the person down the street. But if you do have money at the end of the month, you want to donate it, you can donate it to the Amp Harris Foundation to give back to Toys for the Kids.
And that's what I do. Like today at lunch, I saw a lady, an older lady. She's busting her tail, waiting on tables. I'm like, you know what? It's time to double that tip today, because she's out there working for some other folks.
Yeah.
And that little extra, that's going to come in handy this time of year, especially for something you got going on.
No doubt about that. Amp, hang out with us, okay?
Yes.
It's Amp Harris right here. He is with us at Tiebreakers. That's Chris Hagan. He's with us at Tiebreakers Bud Light Blue Friday with Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers on the other side, and Win Schuler's spreadability. Make sure you find Win Schuler's for that elite level snacking at your favorite mile location of the state of Indiana. You can also find it at Neiman's Harvest Market in Carmel and Gordon's Food Service. Win Schuler's, Don Fisher, other side, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Yeah, and the beat goes on. 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Let me tell you about this place being awesome with tiebreakers on Mass Ave, Bud Light Blue Friday. I see my friend Doug over there, the lovely Lisa in the house.
Hey, do you like Lisa's Christmas sweater?
Lisa rocks sweaters.
I said it's a nice Christmas sweater, and she said it's an IU
Can
sweater.
I say that?
She said it's an IU sweater.
I don't want to offend
and now
you
she's
if I
mad
say
at me because I think it's a Christmas
Lisa
sweater.
can rock a sweater. Is that okay?
Well, she can, but it's also a Christmas sweater, in my opinion.
I love Lisa. And Doug is here. Chris Hagan is also here. Ann Paris is here as well. And we've got on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, we got to hustle him in here because he's going to be doing the double dip. I am so stinking proud of my man Don Fisher, even though I know it's going to compromise our hour table time later on tonight because my man's got to get some rest. But the double dip for Don Fisher coming up tomorrow. Hoops and football. And Don's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. My brother, well done. Well done.
Well, thank you, John. I appreciate it. Unlike the boys in the morning show who wanted me to be carried over from Gamebridge Fieldhouse to Lucas Oil Stadium on a Pharaohs, the Pharaohs from the Egyptians back in the day. They wanted to be carried over there through that, but I wouldn't get on that thing anyway. Number one, because they'd probably drop it. And number two, it would be too cold to do that. So
yes,
I'm going to try and get a better ride than that. Trust me. I
am thrilled. You and I talked about this along with your incredibly lovely and awesome wife Susie last week when we were doing our table thing, and we kind of talked about whether or not you were thinking about doing it. So it was just kind of how you feel right now as far as the reason behind it, because you thought maybe at the time you were going to split it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, John. You're always to do something like that, like this, when you have two awesome games to do in the same day, even if it was just two basketball games, the voice takes a beating in those situations, especially when you're my age. But I went through last week and did the Friday night football game. And, of course, I got about 5 hours sleep after that, got up the next morning, and then did a basketball game at 11 o'clock game for Indiana down in Bloomington. So I passed those two ball games with flying colors. So I think I can handle this. I'm only going to get about an hour and a half or 2 hour break in this matchup, but at the same time, it does give you a little bit of rest, and I think I can handle it. If I can't, somebody will step in, if you know what I mean.
Well, Fish, what you want to do is between games, just have a couple beers, relax for a second.
Exactly.
I text Don this. I saw him, the Big Ten Network the other night on the IU basketball game. They put him up on the camera, John. I don't know if you saw this. They were singing his praises, and once again, I'm reminded that Don is too handsome for radio, and I'm too ugly for TV. But people are well aware, not just here, Don. They're well aware of the plight ahead of you. Two huge games, and I was talking to some folks when I was down in Bloomington earlier this week to do some interviews, and I literally said, not just blowing smoke, I said, the person I'm happiest for about all this with the football team is you, for all the years you've put in, and way back when, before Signetti had even coached a single game for IU, you were telling John and I in the preseason, you were telling us how excited you were about him as a head coach and about what kind of expectations you had, and you were the first one to say it. You've been there forever, so I'm excited for you, my friend, and I know you're going to enjoy the call.
I am going to enjoy it. There's no doubt about that, Chris. I've looked forward to this now for a while, and obviously I didn't know it was going to happen for sure this year, but I had a good feeling about it after we beat Oregon at Oregon this year. I thought, man, this team's got a chance to run the table here and in the regular season, and that's exactly what they did. So all I can tell you at this juncture is I'm thrilled to be a part of it. Even if I couldn't do both, I could still do the football game, and I would do the football game because I've always given football the leeway when it be before basketball seasons, because back in the day when Indiana wasn't playing great football and everybody wanted the football season to be over with so basketball could get started, I've never felt that way, and I've always thought football kind of has been the redheaded stepchild of Indiana athletics.
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Redheaded stepchild.
Yes, it is. It's the Chris Hagan.
You're about to get canceled, Don. Whoa. Okay, carry on as you were. You've built up enough a good credibility that I'll let that slide once.
Well, I won't ever say it again, Chris. Just
No,
so you
please.
know.
No. Hey, please do it again. The next time we go to our table, I'm bringing Hagan so we can do that again. All right? That was awesome.
No, but
Don
I'm
Fisher,
just
go ahead.
I've never given up a football game for a basketball game because it's the end of the season and you just don't do that. It just makes it look bad for the program. And so I've never done that. In fact, I've missed a couple of trips to Hawaii with the basketball team because of it over the years. So that's lamentable. That's lamentable, but
it is.
You know, I just look at it from this perspective alone. That's the way to do it. That's the professional way to do it, and that's what it's all about.
It is. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers with IU and Ohio State. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, so that means 7P your coverage coming up with IU football coming up tomorrow evening, too. And before that, IU basketball with Louisville and the Hoosiers in Cambridge Fieldhouse. I'll get to that in a second, but I wanted to tell you, I don't know if you were listening earlier, DJ Jones was on the show, former tight end at Ohio State, whose son is a really good linebacker for IU, Isaiah Jones. And we were talking about that entire dynamic. And I think among the stories of this game coming up tomorrow night, Don, that is one of the best, how all that went down, and certainly somebody that has been a part of the Ohio State program that has a son now in the IU program and the whole evolution of it. It's a great story.
Oh, there's no question about it. I don't think Isaac was even. They didn't even recruit him, did they? Or maybe they talked to him briefly. Or
they
something,
did not. They did not recruit him, and I think they were a little sore about that at the beginning too. I think they feel better about it now, considering they'd probably like to have him now. But back then, I think they were a little bit sore. Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever the case, Isaac is, I'll tell you what, Isaiah Jones is really a good football player, and he's a class act. I've had a chance to interview him this year on our Hoosier Profile. I just think he's a young man that came to Indiana. That Indiana gave him an opportunity, and man, has he taken advantage of it, and just been an incredible source for this football team because he's come in last year coming off the bench most of the time. He's done the same this year, but when they've gone to a three-linebacker, situation defensively, he's been the third guy in every single time, and he's made play after play after play this season. Just a terrific young player and a guy that's going to get his role changed next year because he'll be the leader of the defensive side of the football along with Elijah Harding because both those guys will be back.
Hey, Fish, I'm a proud Heisman Trophy voter. And our deadline to vote comes up after these championship games. And I've heard a lot of people talking about, well, this Big Ten championship game will decide who wins the Heisman. I don't have that theory. I don't think you base your vote on one game. I look at the whole body of work. You know, this will be 13 games for both teams. Not that I'm going to let you tell me what to do, but what's your opinion on that? Do you think you can base a Heisman Trophy on one game, or do you look at the whole scope of what these two players have done over the course of the season?
Well, I think you have to look at the whole scope, but at the same time, both of these guys have had terrific years. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And at this juncture, I can't say Fernando isn't the best quarterback. I think he is the best quarterback in the country this year. But that doesn't mean that I'm right about it. All I can tell you is this game will be a deciding factor for a lot of people. I mean, it will. Yeah. If Ohio State wins this ball game and Sayin plays terrific, and he's played terrific all year. I mean, his percentage, his accuracy has been phenomenal. I think he's got the receivers have helped him pretty dramatically, but they've also helped the receivers on Indiana's team have helped Fernando pretty dramatically, as we know. So. Yeah. Honestly, I think both are very talented guys. I think Fernando, in my opinion, I think he's the one guy that has been the difference maker for Indiana this year in many of these ball games. Not so much last week, but no question, or maybe it was last week because I didn't think he played well against Purdue. But that's the only game this year that he hasn't performed up to expectations in my mind. And if he hasn't in other ball games, it's because he didn't have the protection. So I just look at Fernando as one of those guys. I think he's definitely an NFL prospect and one of those guys that's going to be drafted very high, if not as a quarterback in the first round. I'd be shocked if somebody wouldn't take him in the first round, if not the first pick as a quarterback. So I just point that out simply because I'm biased because I've watched this guy play the entire season. I know Sayan's very good, but he's a redshirt freshman, and in my mind, you always give that to the guy that has performed the best if it's a tie. And without doubt, in my mind, it's a tie right now.
So Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, double dip tomorrow with obviously IU Ohio State Big Ten title game, Lucas Oil Stadium, 8 o'clock, 7P coverage right here coming up tomorrow evening. But you get your afternoon started at Gainbridge Fieldhouse with Louisville and IU. So I'm going to be down there with you, and I'm going to come by and see you a little bit because I need to see from Darren DeVries' crew a little bit of rebounding and a little bit more shot making than what we witnessed, I think, earlier in the week, did we not, at the barn in Minneapolis. I think on the road in the Big Ten is a lot different, but there was some disappointment surrounding certainly what took place earlier this week in Minneapolis.
Well, nobody was more disappointed than Darren DeVries, I can tell you that. I understood that the paint came off the walls in the locker room after the game. All I can tell you, I know he was not a happy camper about what he saw out there. They just didn't look as cohesive offensively, number one, and then number two, I didn't think their defensive play was as strong as it has been so far this year either in that ball game. Part of it may be, I don't know, it's far be it from me to sit there and try to psychoanalyze college athletes and how they approach games. I've watched this team play 13 times this year now, 7 or 8 games in the regular season, the 3 in Puerto Rico, and the 2 exhibition games prior to the season getting started. And I've really been impressed with how Darren DeVries has coached these guys, how these guys have responded to his coaching, and what they've been able to do. But I thought this was the first time this year we've seen them maybe not as focused as you should be and maybe looking ahead a little bit. And I don't want to say that for sure because I don't know that, but it just kind of looked like they just didn't have the same fire in them as I've seen in these other ball games.
Well, Fish, you don't have to say it, but I'll say it. Both Louisville and IU were looking ahead to Saturday's showdown, ranked opponents, undefeated. It was going to be such a great storyline. We got IU and Ohio State undefeated for the Big Ten title. We're going to sit here and have this undefeated showdown between IU and Louisville. Up the road, we've got undefeated Purdue and a top 10 team, Iowa State. I believe they're still undefeated. So it just had to happen that way. Both teams. And granted, as John said, Minnesota can be a tricky place to play.
Yeah.
We know about going into Bud Walton Arena in Arkansas can be a tough place to play. So no fault in that. But it just seems like maybe a little bit of a peek ahead. And I'm looking forward to see how IU responds to that first loss because, I mean, you can't get a tougher test in this situation. So you don't want that to compound to back-to-back losses. So I think all is forgiven if you show up tomorrow and turn that into a W.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that because this is going to be the toughest team that they've played thus far. Everybody saw what Louisville did to Indiana last year down in the Bahamas and how that got the season off to a roaring start for the Hoosiers. And I say roaring in the sense of how the fan base reacted to it because it was not pretty and it was not a very good performance to say the least. But this Louisville team is really good. They're averaging over 90 points a ball game offensively. And they are shooting lights out most of the time. They didn't against Arkansas in the first half, but then the second half they lit them up, and still they were down 17, I think, at halftime, or 20 at one point in the first half, and then 17 at halftime, and came back, roaring back, but could not close the gap in the final minutes of that ball game. I think they were up or close, getting close to by 4 or 5 points down, and just couldn't finish it. But give Louisville credit. Pat Kelsey's done a remarkable job with that program, and you can do it in basketball a heck of a lot easier you can do in football, but in basketball, Kelsey turnaround of that program in 1 year's time was pretty remarkable in itself.
It is Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, so I'm assuming there's no hour table with us tonight, right?
There is not. We will be staying here at home, and we will be having dinner with the lovely Susie here in about 45 minutes or so, 50 minutes. Yeah, usually she says it'll be ready in about 15, and it's about 25 after she's done. Whatever she's doing.
Well, Don,
but so I won't give you a time frame on it. To be honest, I should.
I got you.
Well, I just hope tonight, Don, that you get treated like a redheaded stepchild, because that's what you deserve.
Hey, Don.
I deserve that shout. I deserve it. I'm sorry.
I got a message from Mike Kemper last week, and he wants to start joining us too. But, man, I don't have to sit here and talk about golf the entire time, do I, if Kemper shows up at our table in the future? Good Lord.
Well, he's got a here's what Chris needs to know. Kemper's got a redheaded
He does.
Kemper's got a redheaded daughter, not a stepchild, a redheaded daughter.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because I think there's no redhead in the fam. That's interesting. But
you had to bring that up, didn't you?
I did. Well, because only he's brought it up before. So I don't know how that happened, but no, it's a mutual.
I don't think Kemper's going to want to go to dinner with us now.
Well, it's okay. I just didn't want to have to sit there and talk about golf the entire time. That's all I was asking. So yeah.
Well, you know, if Kemper and I are sitting there at the table, we're going to talk some golf. You know that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, he's a great dude, and I like his wife a great deal as well, and his entire family pretty awesome. But no, we'll get back on track whenever you get past this. But I'll come down and see you coming up tomorrow. I'm going to go with Matt Goins of AAA and check out IU, and I'll come over and see you. But congratulations on the double dip. I know tomorrow's going to be very special for you. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. Let me give you one little tidbit. It's David against Goliath tomorrow night. I can tell you that. Indiana, prior to Indiana's little short spurt with Buck Sewell in charge of the running backs back in 1987, 88, and 90, back in that era, they won 2 games and tied 1 against Ohio State. Prior to that, the Buckeyes had beaten Indiana 31 times before Indiana got that win in 1987. And since that little 3-year stint in that 4-year period where they had 2 wins and a tie, Indiana's lost 36 straight since. Unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah, it is unbelievable. But as we mentioned, Don, and I've talked to a lot of people about this too, this is a stinking new era. It's a new era, a new landscape. So, who knows what can and will take place. It's not like it used to be.
Yep, it's not.
All right.
It's not like it used to be.
Our best to Susie, too. We'll get back on track at our table coming up here soon when it fits your schedule. Okay, buddy?
All right, guys. I appreciate you having me as always. And, Chris, again, I apologize. It just was a misnomer on my part.
All right, Fish. Love you, brother. You know that.
All right. Thanks, Don. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers right there. Hey, James, is Bruce still on hold right here?
He is.
All right, Bruce joins us at 239-1070. I think Bruce has a question for Amp Harris regarding the holiday season. Bruce, go ahead. You're on with Amp and Chris and John. How are you, Bruce?
I'm good, brother. No, I was listening to you guys talk to Amp earlier, and I've not had the pleasure to meet him, but I love what he's doing. And as you know, I use music to try and help those in need in our community through Concerts for a Cause. So I wanted to let him know that I'm going to go to his website and make a donation of $1,000 on behalf of Concerts for a Cause.
Okay.
And secondly, I know you have a lot of listeners that are friends of mine, and I hope some of them will step up and go to his website as well and make donations so we can help some more kids this holiday season. So if we could get that website out again for AMP, hopefully some guys will go online and kind of join the challenge here.
Well, first of all, Bruce, I appreciate that, sir, more than what you know. Concert for a Cause, whatever I can do to help your organization, please let me know. But that website is ampharrisfoundation.org. It's AMPHARRIS foundation.org. And again, man, I appreciate that because that's what this, when I come on and I speak and do interviews like this is what the purpose is all about. It's not necessarily about me coming on and saying, hey, I need $2 or I need $200,000. It's really about spreading the word of kindness and in this day and age during this time of the year, man. We just need to spread more love. So I love you for this, my man, and the families are going to appreciate it even more.
My pleasure, my friend. Glad to do it and keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome.
Bruce, you're a great dude. Thank you very much.
Bruce sits there on hold and listens to us talk.
He does.
Patiently waits, and he doesn't say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you $50." He drops the grand.
That's awesome.
Man,
that's what I'm talking
well
about.
Done.
Hey, listen, bro.
That's all you over there, man. That's your voice.
It's all us. Again,
I think I had a small part.
Yeah, of course. Like, hey,
I was worth $5 of that.
Listen, bro, when they added, they said the redheaded stepchild was going to be here. I knew we was going to get us some people in the building.
He probably doubled the amount when he heard that.
That is right. All right, the Bear, Chris Felica of Fox on the other side. Hagen, this is right up your alley.
I'm ready. I'm ready
because
for it.
he's a sports wagerer. We're going to get into the Big Ten championship game and all these other games that could cause a great deal of chaos in the playoff landscape of college football. The Bear's going to join us on the other side. We're at a great place called Tiebreakers on Mass Ave. We would love to see you. Bud Light Blue Friday. We got Colts conversation coming up for you as well. Sauce Gardner, he has been ruled out, but everybody else is good to go at a must-win in Jacksonville on Sunday. With Amp and Chris, I'm John. Don't go anywhere. The Bears on the other side. It's 93.5, 107.5, The Fan.
JMV.
And the beat goes on, yeah. And the beat goes on.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
We are staked out on Mass Ave, downtown Indianapolis. Thank you for joining us, Lionel Richie. The place is called Tiebreakers. We'll get Rob back over here a little bit. Also the owner of the Whistle Stop right next to Lucas Oil Stadium. Bud Light Blue Friday, thank you for joining us, Chris Hagan. And Paris, I'm JMV. And joining us now, the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, part of the big noon kickoff, which I'm assuming is going to be moved to the big, incredibly big-time, nighttime kickoff coming up tomorrow night here for what is going to be a Big Ten championship game, at least for Hoosier fans of the ages, IU and Ohio State. You know him, simply put, as the Bear. Chris Felica of Fox joins us now. Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah. Big 6:30 Eastern kickoff doesn't quite have the same ring, but yeah. 6:30. 6 about an hour and a half prior to the game tomorrow. We'll be going from Lucas Oil.
Hey, Chris. In your wildest dreams, did you ever think you'd be talking up a game of this magnitude and telling everybody about the IU football program? Come on, seriously.
No, not at all. And it's fair to say, and I think it's accurate to say, it's the biggest game in IU football history. I mean, you're looking at a team that can go 13-0, can win the Big Ten championship, can beat Ohio State, and go into the college football playoff as the number one team in the country. It's pretty amazing. I can remember talking to my old colleague Lee Corso about his time coaching at IU and all the gimmicks that he would pull in his coaching show, and he loved his time in Bloomington. I know when he finally got there last year to do a show with Game Day, he was excited, and it's great to see that they're one of the big success stories of this era of college football with NIL and the portal and bringing in Coach Sig and the players that he did. It's been an absolute success.
Hey, Chris, not only am I named Chris, but I also work for Fox Sports here on the TV side. But I also, on Radio Row every year at the Super Bowl, I have your buddy Jeff Schwartz on. He's always great, so it's fun to listen to you guys on Bear Bets. That's a must-listen for not only sports fans, but particularly sports gamblers. So John over here, he's allowing me to take control of this interview because I'm with you. I love this weekend. I love looking at numbers. And this is what's curious to me about this matchup. You have, good teams win, great teams cover. IU has not covered as much as they've won. But Ohio State, a public team where usually those lines get skewed and you're paying a premium for an Ohio State or a Michigan or Alabama. Somehow, I believe, according to my numbers, is Ohio State 10-1-1 against the spread. That's unbelievable to me. And that number has dropped from the opening line here. So it's almost like they're begging you to take Ohio State and lay the 4.
Yeah, 10-1-1 or 11-1, depending on the closing number that you had, and I forget what game it was. Maybe the Rutgers game it might have been, but it's amazing. They can't make these higher numbers high enough, and a lot of instances. Same thing with Texas Tech. Texas Tech's 11-1 against the number as well. They can't. I mean, usually when you're a big favorite. Sharp bettors like to go the other way and take the dog and inflated lines. But this year, you've had a couple of favorites there with Ohio State and Texas that seemingly cover everything. But we have seen some money on Indiana this week, and some respected bets have come in on IU out in Vegas. And speaking with John Murray at the Westgate Superbook and Chris Andrews out there at the South Point Lake, IU started the week at 6 or so, and now it's come down to 4.5 or so. And I bet in the look-ahead line a couple of weeks ago, I bet Ohio State minus 3.5, expecting an opportunity to see this number run to 6.5, and potentially open myself for a nice middle. So that theory kind of worked out for me. But it seems like a majority of the majority of the money, majority of the smart players right now seem to like IU plus the points.
What's funny is, and you talked about this, not making the spread big enough. You remember when the Patriots flirted with perfection and they were undefeated, and some books just stopped posting numbers on the Patriots because no matter how big they made it, they just smashed them week in and week out?
Yeah, 19, 20, 21, whatever. Yeah, they couldn't make the numbers big enough, and They always say the point spread's a great equalizer, but when you can't book a game high enough, it's very usually these things kind of tend to even out throughout the year, but it just didn't happen.
And the way that gambling, like degenerates like me, who was gambling illegally back in the day, was always just point spread. It was just exactly. I'm fine. There's a statute of limitations, I think, Chris. It used to just be the traditionalist. You would bet on the game. You would bet on maybe on the total, but now, I mean, we can wait after the first drive and we can bet on there's going to be an updated spread. You can bet on, prop bets on players, and we've seen some trouble because of that. Mm-hmm. Do you look for your bets? Are you like me and you make your bet and that's your bet, or do you watch some of these games after you've seen a couple of drives, or maybe an underdog jumps up 7-10-0? Do you make any wagers from that, or is that kind of fool's gold?
No, I think a good number of my wagers now are live. I like getting a little bit more information and being able to determine which way a game might be going. And you talked about some of these other derivative markets. One of the best bets that I like this week, I bet under 24.5 in the SEC game, 24.5 points in the first half. I just think the way that game is going to play out, you've got an Alabama team which really has been struggling offensively lately. Second half of that first meeting with Georgia, Georgia kind of figured it out a little bit. Georgia's D's gotten better as the year has gone on. The Bulldogs are going to be without their starting center, Drew Bobo, Mike Bobo's son. I think they're going to have trouble blocking Big Tim Keenan there and that Alabama defensive line. So I think we could see a pretty low-scoring, uneventful first half in Atlanta. So, 24.5 as the total on the first half of that game. I went under there.
So Chris Felica, the Bear, Fox Sports, the big 8 o'clock kickoff coming up tomorrow night on Fox. You can catch him and all of his friends, which is always awesome. How do you feel this game is going to go with IU and Ohio State tomorrow night, Chris?
I think what happened at Autzen earlier this year really validated Indiana. I think after the playoff last year and after the game in Columbus last year, I think people were kind of still a little bit out on Indiana, a little bit of question. And I think the big drive at Iowa to get the win, the game at Autzen, beating Oregon as a top 5 team in the country, and then the drive against Penn State. I think a lot of people are right. Okay, this is more than just now. They played a soft schedule, and of course they're going to win these games. They have great wide receivers and a quarterback who, if IU wins, is going to win the Heisman Trophy. I ultimately think push comes to shove tomorrow, Ohio State does win, because I think Ohio State is still just better than Indiana. I think you saw in a couple of the games this year, Indiana did have a trouble running the ball at times against some of the better teams on their schedule. But I will say this. I wonder if there's an opportunity for Indiana to start fast tomorrow night. You've got an Ohio State team coming off of the game against Michigan, where they put every emotional egg in the basket in winning that game and breaking that streak, and they finally did. Now people are going to be talking about them repeating as national champions, and they know, regardless of what happens tomorrow night, they're going to get a first-round bye, and in the playoff, and their focus is going to be on repeating. And this game kind of is in the middle, and I'm not saying they're looking past it or overlooking Indiana, but I mean, these are still 20, 21-year-old, 19-year-old kids who have a finite amount of energy, and it's human nature to have ups and downs throughout the year. So maybe there's a chance here for IU to get up on Ohio State early in this game, and that certainly could change the complexion of things.
Chris, my unpopular opinion here in Indianapolis was that big picture, IU is better off if they lose tomorrow, if they're thinking making a run in the playoffs. Because like you said, it's tough for IU, I think, to beat Ohio State anyway, but to go out there and beat them twice would be extra difficult. And also, you're already going to have an Oregon team in the bracket that's looking for some payback against the Hoosiers as well. So I don't think all is lost if they lose tomorrow night. And like I said, a very unpopular opinion here.
No, they're going to get a bye regardless of what happens tomorrow. It's just going to be a question of whether they fall to 3 or to 4. You just have to try and look I actually think you're kind of right there. If you lose, you're going to go to the bottom of the bracket, and I think that potentially would mean maybe a second-round game with either Ole Miss or a Group of 5 team or BYU there as an 11 seed. I would love their chances in that game. So I think if you're playing the long game, maybe you do have a better path to get to the national title game if you are, say, the 3 seed. You can avoid the top, which is going to have probably the SEC champion. You would have Ohio State. Maybe you have an 8-9 game with Notre Dame and Oklahoma. I think the bottom could be the place to be. But again, you want to win a Big Ten championship. You got an opportunity to go down as the best team in Indiana football history, and winning tomorrow night, I think, is certainly their focus. And they're not thinking of that inside that football building. I can promise you that.
Hey, Chris, before I let you go here, what has to happen coming up this weekend for Notre Dame fans to be sweating things out?
I think Notre Dame fans should be sweating things out regardless of BYU winning. Absolutely knocks Notre Dame and Miami both out because BYU would be the Big 12 champion, and then both Texas Tech and BYU would go to the playoff. BYU would jump, and Notre Dame and Miami would both be out. BYU losing, though, however, would put Notre Dame and Miami right next to each other in the committee's mind on the big board. And finally, for the first time, you would have a true comparison, and I think they would really look at that head-to-head and say, okay, at this point now, they're right next to each other. They did play. Miami did beat them, and that's when the flip might happen. Now, that's my opinion. You've never had an instance in the college football playoff rankings where you've had Team A beat Team B, and Team B is right ahead of them in the final standings if you both have the same record, and that's where we are now. So it would be unprecedented for Notre Dame to stay ahead of Miami. But again, this is a different committee, and who's to say they just won't go in there and say Notre Dame, we think Notre Dame is better than Miami, even though they lost the head-to-head. They have every right to do that. So, but I think based on committee past habits, I think Notre Dame is in a very difficult situation. I think the one thing that could also give Notre Dame some hope is if Alabama were to lose and kind of not look good in the SEC championship game. I think Notre Dame should be ahead of Alabama right now anyway. I think Miami and Notre Dame should both be in. But Alabama hasn't been playing great football for a month. If they were to lose a third game, does that offer an opportunity now to say, hey, you know what? They lost to Florida State as well. It was the worst loss of any of these contenders that are in the playoff. Does that open up an avenue to say, okay, maybe Alabama falls out and both Miami and Notre Dame get in?
All right, Chris, before they kick me off the show along with you, I just wanted to give a little mention to Bear Bets, the best podcast there is. Love listening to you and Jeff. And like I said, he always comes on Radio Row with us Super Bowl week. So if we see you roaming around there, we'll try to track you down as well. But thanks for letting me hijack this portion of the interview, and looking forward to some good futures bets after these championship games as well.
Hey, Chris, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. The only thing would have been better had you joined us, and we could got you half in the bag while you were on the air with us.
Maybe Radio Row during Super Bowl week. How about that?
Sign him up.
Chris, we appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
It's Chris Felica of Fox. You can check him out coming up tomorrow night. That's a good dude right there.
Yeah. Not only on television, but I can't tell you enough to listen to Bear Bets, the podcast. Jeff Schwartz, a former NFLer, he comes on with us every year. Just one of these guys.
You're in love with that guy.
No, he's one of these guys. He's like us. He's like us. He can sit here, Amp. He can talk sports. He can talk music.
Yeah.
He can talk music.
Like that. I do.
He can talk movies, pop culture. And that's the way Schwartz is. And then Bear, he drops the knowledge. I tell him Ohio State 10-1. Well, he might 11-1 in some books.
Yeah.
You
so
like that?
He knows his stuff. Anybody who gets, look, sports gambling is like the stock market. You know, you can go in there blind and lose all your money, or you can make some educated things. You got a guy like that knows numbers. He's breaking down matchups, and he threw it out there. I'll repeat it for him. His free tip for everybody: he likes the under first half of Alabama, Georgia. First half, under 24.5. So as soon as I leave here, I'm getting on this phone and I'm making me some free money.
You got that. It's Chris Hagan. Amp Harris is here. And my man Rob, the owner of Tiebreaker, is going to rejoin for the stretch run of this show on Mass Ave. Tiebreakers, Bud Light Blue Friday. Stay right there. We're coming back with you next. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
You're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It should be more natural, brother. It should flow out like this. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
All right, so tomorrow, Bullseye, I'm going to be down there with Laura Steele and DJ Skids. Be doing some JMV takeover at Bullseye tomorrow for your pregame party. I'll see you there. Shout out to Matt Goins, the president of AAA. He and I are going to go check out Louisville and IU at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And, hell, I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'm just going to have to let somebody else decide that for me, probably. Again, Colts pregame huddle Sunday morning, 10 a.m. That's me, Casey Valier, and Bill Brooks as the Colts take on Jacksonville. Down in Jacksonville, they haven't won there since 2014 and need a win. Sauce Gardner has been ruled out, but everybody else is healthy. There is zero reason as to why, if you can get some play on both sides of the ball, they should now win that game coming up on Sunday, even with the way that they have played here recently. Tiebreakers on Mass Ave. Bud Light Blue Friday has been outstanding. Dev's the onside engineer. James back at the studio. Amp Harris is here. Amp, man, we've made some good headway.
Hey, listen, man, that's what it's all about, man. Sports, fun, and love. That's the most important thing. Or in Coach Dungy's way, he used to say faith, family, and fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's all of that can mix together right here. Hey, Rob Strong is the owner here. You've got one hell of a joint, man. I mean, listen, well done with Whistles. Whistle Stop's going to be off the hook down there this weekend.
It's gonna be
Lord
packed.
have mercy.
It's going to be packed.
Going to let me in there?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Come here. We open at 11.
11?
Yeah.
I might be there at 11.
Hey,
I might
you
be
might
there
be
at
there at
10:59.
I was going to say, show up at 10:30.
10:59.
The staff will be there at 10:30. They'll let you in.
Hey, the food was good. I ate a couple of ribs right here.
Right
I
on.
did.
The deep fried ribs,
little
yeah.
protein right there. What did we just eat?
Deep fried ribs with spicy peach barbecue sauce.
Gotcha, man. Well, tell everybody about Tiebreakers again. Just 2 weeks in here on Mass Ave.
2 weeks in, Mass Ave's latest sports bar, True Sports Bar.
True Sports.
Any sport we have. If you want to watch pickleball, we can get the pickleball channel on. We have every single channel available sports-wise. If we can't have it, it ain't on. Game's always on. Open at 11 a.m. Close at 1 through the week. 3 a.m. on weekends. Kitchen closes an hour before we close.
Man, that's awesome.
And it's more than just sports, too. It's good, great food.
Well, I mean, it's just the epicenter of everything around here, too. And you're like at the heart of Mass Ave, if you want to call it that. I think is where you are.
And closing
right
at 3 o'clock is going to be a big asset because most things around here close like at 10 or 11.
Yes, sir.
So to be open on the weekend at 3 o'clock, this place is going to be jumping. It might turn into an Amp Harris JMV Saturday night party.
Do that right there. You gonna bring your turntables?
Listen, we might as well do your show up in here, brother. I got my promoter's hat is on now.
Well, my goodness. Let's think about doing that. Hey, one more time, too, Amp. Remind everybody how they can get involved because we had Bruce call in and was very generous with the $1,000 donation. How can people get involved?
It's simple, man. It's Amp Harris and Reggie Wayne. Put a smile on the child's face toy giveaway where we adopt 1,000 kids for Christmas. An event takes place on the track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway December the 20th. So you could just go to my website, ampharrisfoundation.org. You can make a donation, or if you want to volunteer, just let me know. It's a lot of fun. A lot of celebrities come out, and it's all about love and peace for our community.
Well, and you and I and Mike Wells are all going to go see New Edition, Tony Braxton, and Boyz II Men in February, too.
Listen, the sing-off is on, Mike Wells. Man. Like Johnny Gill versus Mike Wells.
I've had everybody on but Bobby Brown. I think I've had, because, I mean, obviously I've been with Ralph Tresvant because he's, kind of in the building at times
absolutely.
now. But I've had everybody on, the Bell Bivens, Ron DeVoe and Michael Bivens and Ricky Bell. And I've had everybody but Bobby Brown. So,
and I'm going to work on that.
Yeah. It seems like that'd be a hard one to do.
No, it really isn't.
Is it not?
It's really just about his availability.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby's an eclectic kind of guy.
I'm sure he is, yeah.
Talking sports and stuff like that, that's right up his alley. So we could do that. We just can't talk about anything in his past.
No. But I will say this, man. Tresvant and I, and then Johnny Gill has been on the show before. We get along great. I mean, they're great times.
I mean, that's what I said. Yeah. When you talk sports, man, it doesn't matter where you're from, no matter your education, no matter your financial background. Sports brings everybody together. And whether if we're fighting about your team, my team, I do got a question because one thing about this big IU Ohio State matchup this weekend. Is this considered a home game for IU as close as Ohio State is.
Ohio State travels well.
Yes.
I mean, and it's sold out. The ticket prices are through the roof. But, I mean, the Horseshoe, they get about $40K more in that building, I think, over there. So, I don't know about a home game.
So would you consider this a real home game for IU?
I would call it that, but I don't know people-wise if it's going to be. I just think IU people put this at more of a premium than Ohio State people.
Yeah.
Rob, would you?
Yeah.
I mean, right.
First time here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like all new for IU. For Ohio State, they're going, well, we're just trying to maintain the one seed. Yeah.
Yeah, so having conversations with people, they're like, but this is IU's backyard. But I'm like, this is uncharted territory for IU, even though they're playing at Lucas Oil Stadium, to be playing up against a juggernaut like Ohio State, who's been there, done that. Like, is that added pressure for IU?
I don't know if there's any pressure on IU other than maintaining a competitive balance here. I think that's the only thing. You just want to be competitive. And I want to see them win, and I want to see them play well. But I think if you're an IU fan, you just want to see your team remain competitive because that's what they struggled with in Columbus last year.
We don't want to get dog walked.
No, you do not, because then that could affect, who knows how the committee is going to look at that after that. So, Wynn Schuler Spreadability, you can get it at Meyer locations, Neiman's Harvest Market, and Gordon's Food Service. The Spreadability elite level snacking of Wynn Schuler's spreadable cheeses, guys. Rob, one more time for this place, and tell everybody about Whistle Stop, too, coming up this weekend.
Whistle Stop this weekend, it's going to be absolutely packed right across from Lucas Oil Stadium.
No question.
One of the closest bars there. Great drinks, great food. 339 Massachusetts Avenue, Tiebreakers. It's the new one.
Let's do this again, brother.
Absolutely, brother.
Tiebreakers is awesome. My man Rob, and shout out to Wayne as well, and my friends from Zinc that are over there, Jim Jr. of the gang, Dev, on-site engineer, thank you very much. James back at the studio. One more time, how can people get a hold of you, Amp?
It's simple, ampharrisfoundation.org or Amp Harris on any social media platform, JMV, and I appreciate you, brother.
You got it. Right back at you. Anytime, man. Always welcome. You know that. There's Amp Harris right there. What a great show today. Chris Felico, the Bear, Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers. Bob Lovell was on here. Mike Wells was on here. Our guy Rob and Wayne from Tiebreakers on Mass Ave. And we started the show with DJ Jones, the former tight end of Ohio State, the father of Isaiah Jones, the linebacker of IU. What a great story. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for hanging. I'll see you at Bullseye tomorrow, maybe at the IU basketball game tomorrow as well. We shall hang out, I promise you that. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. It is me and the Colts Happy Hour next on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.